So where do I even start? Where do I even begin this video? I mean, I've had a day to think about everything. Sort of take away what we took away from the game, which was nothing in the end because it was shambolic. We didn't get any points from the game. Let's talk about Man United versus Liverpool. 3-0 to Liverpool. Unacceptable. Absolutely unacceptable. Let alone the result. Like, obviously the result, Liverpool are a great team, we know that, but more the performance. Like, we're playing against our biggest rivals at home. We've just announced a new signing in front of all these fans as well. So, you know what I mean? We're at home against Liverpool, our biggest rivals, and we do that. It's unacceptable. That's where I've got to start. It's absolutely unacceptable. Now, we're going to get into the game and obviously discuss it, what went wrong. Like, yeah, I don't even know what to say. We're going to start off with Casemiro. I'm starting to lose my patience with Casemiro. If I've not already lost my patience, it's wearing thin. It's close to being over, my relationship with Casemiro as a player. I don't get it. Can someone please explain to me in the comments how a once 5-time Champions League winner won trophies in pretty much every competition he's competed in is so bad? Like, what's happened to him? I don't understand. I know obviously people are saying leave the football before the football leaves you, etc. He's aging a bit, but he's 32. He's not some scrub. Like, he's won 5 Champions Leagues, so I find it hard to sort of get my head around why he's so bad. I don't know. That one's up to the comment section there, because I don't get it. What I notice about Casemiro in games is he never takes touches, very rarely. I mean, he did actually for the goals we conceded. It was him getting caught on the ball, taking too long. But normally, whenever the ball's into him, he hits it first time. He's like a centre-back in Sunday League who's trying to clear it straight away. Just take your time on the ball, look for a pass. That's what he did a lot in that game, just giving it away first time. First goal, obviously, completely just passes it straight to them. They run through and score. Dead easy, simple as that. The pass from Casemiro is dreadful. I don't even know who he's aiming for. I don't know what he's doing. He loses the ball in a really key area there. It leaves Mazraoui and De Ligt pushed up because obviously, well, Mazraoui and Delo were already pushed up anyway. So it leaves obviously Diaz and whoever else it was, Jota on the back post for a header. It leaves them alone because Mazraoui's already pushed up. Mazraoui's not expecting Casemiro to lose the ball there in midfield, and he did. So, yeah, I'm flabbergasted. I'm flabbergasted at a 5-time Champions League winners doing that. It's clear to see Manuel Ugarte is needed heavily into this midfield, and he's not going to be able to do it on his own. He's not going to be able to just go into this team and solve our problems straight away. I mean, poor Kobbie Mainoo, man. I know he was at fault for the third goal. He got caught on the ball, but he's playing in midfield on his own. In that first half, he was doing 2 jobs on his own as a 19-year-old midfielder. Do you not think it's sort of weird that Kobbie Mainoo is now our senior midfielder in the team? I find that really, like, he's gonna get burnt out very, very soon. He's still very young. He shouldn't be playing as many games as he is, especially running around in the midfield on his own after just coming off an international tournament as well. Like, he's gonna get overplayed and he's gonna get burnt out, Kobbie Mainoo. So that needs to start. We need to start slowing down Kobbie. I'm not saying drop him, but obviously take him off in a few games. We couldn't yesterday because what did we have? What did we have in that midfield? Casemiro hooked at half-time, at fault for both the goals in the first half. But we weren't good enough at all anyway, United. We were good for probably the first 10-15 minutes. I was looking at that game and I was like, we look different. Why are we playing so well in this first 10 minutes? I don't know if Liverpool just growing into the game a little bit. But yeah, again, we just struggled 2-0 down at half-time. Absolutely shambolic first half. And I want to talk about the second half because that's where things start to go downhill again. Like, we were just terrible in the second half. I mean, basically, we were bad in the first half, but we had moments, sort of thing. Second half, we didn't have much. I'm not going to lie, it was stressful watching it. One of the most stressful games I've had watching Man United. But anyway, yeah, second half, Toby Collier, another young 20-year-old, comes on to replace Casemiro. Rightfully so, Casemiro should have come off, and Collier probably is the only player you can bring on in that situation. Eriksen isn't the hasn't got the physicality you need in that midfield with Kobbie Mainoo. It would have just been the same. It would have been like playing with 10 players. So to bring Collier on, yeah, obviously he's a young kid. We can't blame anything on Toby Collier. A few wayward passes here and there, but he shouldn't be even thrown into the game. This is his Man United debut, and he's been thrown into a game against Liverpool on his debut, which is crazy. But he's had to because of how bad Casemiro was in that first half. Their third goal, poor Kobbie Mainoo, man, gets shrugged off the ball too easily. But again, people are going to say, why is it one thing for Casemiro, why is it one for the other, Kobbie Mainoo? I've got a bit of leniency for Kobbie Mainoo because how good he was last year. And again, he was probably still one of our better players in that game. He didn't play amazing, but when he was on the ball, he tried to make things happen. Few tricks here and there, and obviously coming off the back of that international tournament at the Euros, he's been overplayed. And he's doing two-man job. He's doing a two-man job in the midfield on his own against one of the best midfields in the league, McAllister, Gravenberch, they were unbelievable yesterday. Szoboszlai as well with the physicality. I thought Gravenberch was best player on the pitch for me, for Liverpool. I thought he was great. And again, like we said, games are won and lost in the midfield. Their midfield was well better than ours. So much better. They had more balance. Bruno, for me, he was playing as sort of a second striker, so he wasn't involved in the game enough. He was leaving too many gaps in the midfield. Casemiro, obviously, we know how bad he was in the first half. So then it's Mainoo covering all this space, and he can't do it on his own. He can't do that on his own. That's where the gaps were showing in the midfield. What can you do? What can you do? Mainoo gets caught. Liverpool counter. Play to Salah. Salah slots it in. 3-0 Liverpool. And again, they could have scored 6, 7, 8 goals. They took the foot off the pedal in the second half. After they scored the third, they could have scored a lot more. They didn't. There was a chance where Szoboszlai, it was unbelievable play from Liverpool. Szoboszlai had the chance to just stick it in bottom corner, and he tried to sit a defender down and then put it. I don't know what he was doing. He should have, sort of unprofessional, you could say, but he was taking the mick out of us, taking the absolute piss out of us. And yeah, shambolic, absolutely shambolic performance. I want to go into individual players now. Straight away when the team came out, I was quite happy, but I felt bad for two players in particular. One, Ahmad, player of the month for United for the start of the season, unbelievable in pre-season, scored our goal last week against Brighton, one of our better players against Fulham on the opening day as well, and he didn't start the game. Another one, Harry Maguire, obviously De Ligt came in, I was happy about that, but Harry Maguire could sort of feel unlucky in that sort of situation. He was our best player against Brighton, probably our best player against Fulham. So we had 2 man-of-the-match performances in the first 2 games, and he gets dropped. I don't know. I thought De Ligt was great up until the goal started flowing in. But yeah, I think Harry Maguire was unlucky not to start as well. I think De Ligt's a better player. I'm not saying all this. I'm just saying he's unlucky to sort of be frozen out of that starting 11. But Ahmad's more importantly because Garnacho's come in. Yes, that's the right sub, but I don't understand. And this is not hate on Rashford. But what has he done that Ahmad and Garnacho haven't done? Why is he starting games ahead of Ahmad and Garnacho? I think before the game, a lot of people saying he scores in big moments, he plays well against these sort of teams, but I don't, just because he played well against Liverpool 2-3 years ago or whatever it was, that doesn't mean he should be starting this game. You're meant to pick players off form, not off your favourites, and that's where Ten Hag is going to end up losing his job. Don't get me wrong, I don't want him to go yet, obviously, we need to give him time, but he's going to end up sacking himself if he keeps picking his favourites. We saw it under Ole, we saw it under Mourinho. Players have managers always have favourites. But you've got to be level-headed as well. You've got to be able to do the right thing in that situation. And Rashford should have never started the game. I think Ahmad's really unlucky to not start that game. I mean, if you want to play Rashford up front instead of Xerxes, you can do that as well. But you lose the press from Xerxes as well. I just think Rashford should have been on the bench for this game. And I think that's where Ten Hag's got wrong. I'm not blaming the loss on Rashford at all. I think he had his moments in the game. But I just feel really bad for Ahmad because when Ahmad came on, by far our best player. By far our best player. So I just felt really bad on him. He came on, he added something different, and he should definitely start against Southampton after the international break, which I hope a lot of different players do start. I hope we start getting Luke Shaw back from injury. Højlund, Manuel Ugarte will probably play. I mean, in fact, he definitely will play because there's no way Casemiro plays against Southampton after the international break. Not after that performance, no way. No way at all. Yeah, Liverpool were worthy winners. There's not really anything else I can say about that. Arne Slot set his team up brilliantly. He knew exactly what he wanted to do. Like I said before, games are won and lost in the midfield. Their midfield was so much better than ours. I don't think our defence was actually that bad. I genuinely don't. I think the reason we were getting caught was because of the midfield. Our forwards weren't scoring or taking the chances, so I thought the defence wasn't actually that bad. It sounds weird. We conceded 3 goals, but I thought Martinez and De Ligt were okay. I thought Dalot and Mazraoui were quite good. But, I mean, maybe not Dalot. He did get caught a few times. But you know what I'm saying? Like, it was won and lost in the midfield, and we just couldn't deal with them. We couldn't deal with Liverpool's midfield. I just want to go on to Onana quickly as well, because I'm not blaming Onana for any of the goals. The goals were all courtesy of the midfield losing the ball very easily. But there's something about Onana, like we've brought in this keeper to obviously be a ball-playing goalkeeper, which eventually it probably will happen when we get our full backline in order and we start to obviously learn the ways a little bit. But I think his shot stopping and his positioning is so poor. Like, I get it. I like Onana, like the personality he brings to the team, but I think that third goal is savable. I really do. I mean, I'm not a goalkeeper, but I'm just looking at his positioning there. Salah just rolls it into the bottom corner. Onana doesn't even dive for it. Like, well, he does, but come on. I think he could have done better on that third goal. I'm not blaming it on him because it's the midfield's fault at the end of the day. So I'm not blaming the goal on Onana. I just think he can do better in certain situations. That's all I'm trying to say. I think people will be on board with me with that. I think when he comes for crosses, he's sometimes very late to them, sometimes clumsy. And his shot stopping really needs to improve. But again, we're going to learn these things. 3 points from the first 9 is not great at all. But yeah, I think I don't even know what to suggest. We've got a week and a half break, 2 weeks break with the international games, which probably does us a favour. I hate international breaks, I really do, especially this early on in the season. But it probably does United a favour, let's be real. But yeah, I want to end. Congratulations to Liverpool. Thoroughly deserved. Better team by far. Not conceded a goal yet either, which is crazy. Yeah, they're definitely in a title race. I know we're only early on, but they're going to challenge City, aren't they, for the title. But anyway, that's where we'll leave it. We've got Southampton after the international break. Hopefully it's 3 points away from home. And I mean, if it's not, we've got to be seriously looking at ourselves. Southampton are probably one of the worst teams in the league. So we need to bounce back after the international break. And yeah, I'll see you next time.